Hi, this is Stacey Hyde, and I'm back with another episode of Better Financial Health in 15 minutes or less. And what I'd like to talk about today is something that has come up recently, both from younger parents or parents with younger children, and also parents of teenagers and college students, and that's how to teach your kids about money. And that's a pretty loaded question, but I think that it does start at an early age. You know, having a chore chart, linking activity, doing certain things, that's how you earn money. Linking effort to earnings, I think, is never a bad thing. I think it's also important to encourage saving and giving from an early age, to think about, okay, of this money that you, even from gifts, this money you got from grandma, $100, well, we should put $10 in your savings account, and $10 should go to a charity. And that can be fun to help them think about others that may not be as fortunate as them. A lot of kids love to do lemonade stands, things of that nature, and it's good to do that. I do think that there's value in kids having to do certain chores that are just required because they're a member of a household, and that's what you do when you're a member of that household without any expectation of money. My mom used to keep a list of, if we wanted extra money, you can tell I'm having bad memories. Cleaning baseboards was something that we never wanted to do, but if we needed cash and we wanted to do something, that was usually what we had the bucket and were on our hands and knees doing. But it taught me that she didn't want to do that either, so she was willing to pay for it, and that was a good life lesson. As kids get older, particularly as they enter high school, start driving, I think it's important to really talk pretty transparently. Most kids will have a big aha moment when they get their first job and they see taxes held out. They really start to understand, the impact of taxes on their take-home pay, and I think that's a good lesson as well. And if you have kids 16 years or older that have earned income, they can start funding a Roth IRA, which that can be a huge, powerful tool for them to generate tax-free income when they get ready to retire, because they'll have so many years of compounding of those dollars. So I think that's something you can really encourage at that point. And then as you're sitting around the kitchen table, I think while you may not want to share your tax return and all your earnings with them, I think it's important to talk to kids about what the bills are in running a household. It's groceries, it's utilities, it's repairs, it's car insurance, maintenance. I think all of those things make kids much more aware of what it costs just to live, and helps them understand it's not just about buying the newest iPhone or the latest fancy branded clothing, and it can really help them make good choices and understand what the value of things are going forward. And then as they get started, graduate, and then take a step back, if they're going into college and they're having to use loans because there's just not enough financial aid, grants, or scholarships to pay all of it, really encourage them to minimize the amount that they borrow. And to do that, they can get a job, maybe work study, potentially go to junior college for the first year or two, because student loans can have such a detrimental impact on people as they graduate and try to get started in their life, marriage, purchasing a house, children, because it's a debt that cannot be discharged in bankruptcy. And so it's important to minimize that, because it's so easy to accept those loans. And so you really do want to make sure that you counsel your kids about those, because they're going to show up in their online portal. And if they don't understand what the impact is, it can lead them to take on debt that they either didn't really need, or maybe they needed, but they didn't understand how they could have minimized that. And you can go to studentaid.gov and go to a calculator and see what those potential repayments might be, and that can help them and help them make better choices on that. And then as they graduate and start in their first job, many employers now will automatically enroll them in the company retirement plan. The most popular option is 3%, increasing each year up to 6%. Some employers will just start at 6% and you get a match of 3.5% on that 6%. But that's not, you shouldn't necessarily encourage them just to stop there. They should try to save 10% of their income, especially if they do that early on. And they likely will want to start out making Roth contributions because their income hopefully is the lowest it will be over their lifetime, and those Roth dollars really have a chance to accumulate over time. So that can really help them, and then you can help them navigate credit cards. Really warn them that carrying a credit card balance does not increase your credit score. You can pay off your credit card in full every month and have a credit score of over 800. I think that's important to remember, the value of having an emergency fund, because Murphy's Law is what can go wrong will go wrong. The Stacey corollary to that is at the worst possible moment. So you want to make sure that you've got a little money set aside for emergencies, you're saving some money for your future, and then it's okay to also save, and I would encourage it to save for fun stuff. You know, your new car, your vacation, future home purchase, and then just try to enjoy your life and not take on so many bills that if anything goes wrong in your life, it's going to throw you off in a ditch. So you really want to minimize the amount of payments you have each month, whether that is debt payments or whether that is how much you're paying in rent or how much your house note is, how much you pay for your cell phone, eating out, things like that. So it all comes together. And I think that while this is geared to kids, I think we as adults can always use remembering these types of things, because they really can make life less stressful, more enjoyable, and more rewarding. Thanks for tuning in. This has been another episode of Better Financial Health in 15 minutes or less.